All right, not the best place to start a garden tour, but let's do it anyway. I planted up this black elderberry because I had lots of spare garden soil, which I was able to fill up this pot with, so that was good. This is the, oh my goodness, I always forget what this is called. It's like a snowball. Is it Gerber rose? But I never really get more than, I've got more this year, but I never normally get more than a couple of flower buds, but I seem to have a few more this year. But I did plant it up and feed it. Yeah, I have actually. Look, oh yes, I have actually got more buds this year. So the feed obviously did it some good, but it's still not loads because it needs to be planted up in the ground, but I don't know where I'm going to put it yet. Here I've got my experimental rose seeds, nothing happening yet, but I do believe they are a very slow burn. So these are probably going to stay here till next spring. And if I don't see any signs of life by then, certainly by next summer, then they'll be slung out. But you have to have patience with gardening. This is the chard I potted up in a recent video and I dropped it, remember, so it kind of looked damaged. But I did also succession sow some chard seeds under here, so one way or another, and they're actually still alive, look, and actually standing proud, so it's probably going to grow. I think these ones are probably going to grow new shoots. Some aquilegia that I grew from seed, and also the ones I divided in a previous video just to prove, actually some of them did die around that one there. Oh no, it actually hasn't, just looks a bit ropey. I'll give it a water. As you can see, they're fine. And then all these are just, I've got some buddleias and they just all need sorting out. And the hollyhocks, which I just suffered terribly with rust, so they've got to go. And this plant stand needs sorting out. And this was a cheapo bush I bought for like £1, and I thought it was dead, but it just finally has some buds. It's like a pink spirea, so that's quite nice. Well, hopefully should be anyway. Here was one of the first things I planted up when I moved in the house, and it's fallen into disarray, but it has gooseberry bushes, and it did used to have tulips. So as you can see here, we will be getting, oh, it's really bright now. Here's the little blossoms, look, can you see that? It's really hard to see when the sun comes out like this. It's a beautiful day. We'll check the temperature in a minute. So gooseberries there. This is my whole pot area, so eventually when I finish planting up my pots, this will all be like plant pots here full of properly planted up plants, if you know what I mean. And these are my winter sowing, which all need opening. I'll do that maybe in the next video. A bit of rubbish there which I didn't see. These are some persicarias I bought from Great Dixter last year. And they come later than my other persicaria, which I'll show you in a minute. So I haven't decided where they're going to go, so they are basically just staying in that pot for now. All right, let's move on to this border here. So this is a really low growing cute bush. Don't know what it is, can't remember, but it's just a really nice fresh green colour. And there's the, is it lamium, did I say it was called? I think it is, isn't it, with the yellow flowers. You can see how prolific that is in the shade there. So I'm really glad I planted some down the other end, which I'll show you during the tour. And then of course this is my loveliest box here, which is just beautiful, and birds love it in there because they feel cozy and protected in there. And then I've got more box, same, but none are as beautiful as this because it's in such a good location. So yeah, so that's grown massive since I've lived here. It's beautiful, look, on thin legs, big ball, very nice, love it. And then here is a viburnum in a pot, again in a pot because I don't know where it's going to ultimately go. Here I tried I have some more Bistorta cuttings that I took, and these tulips, not tulips, they were like narcissi, they finished flowering now, and some forget-me-nots. Oh look, I've got my first anemone. It looks a bit ropey, to be honest. Have I even got any more in there? Now, this bed, I'm going to remove all the daffodils from here and plant them down the garden because the soil layer is too low. But as you can see, I planted these Honesty and some foxgloves, and I also have at the back there, and the leaves have got big, you see, because they're too low down, some verbascums there. So, but not enough. So I'm probably going to take all the daffodils out and replant them, and I'm going to replant the foxgloves and the verbascums as well, and then I'll just raise the level of the soil, and I'm going to plant something completely different in here and use it as a sowing bed. I don't know, maybe even do herbs and vegetables in here. We'll see. Then you saw me do these pots. Look how cute those tulips are. They're almost like little roses, that one there, look. With the little violas. Some more forget-me-nots. The forget-me-nots are really not in there. They're getting there, as you can see, but they get so much bigger and bushier yet. And then this lovely mint here. Yeah, which kind of mint is it? I probably would have kept the label, but I can't see it right now. But anyway, whew, it smells delicious. Those Canterbury bells should not be in there. That's just too small. And I very much doubt they are going to flower in there, so I could try and move those as well. So I definitely have pot jobs to do. This is a choisia in flower, of course, which the bees are enjoying. This was a planter that I didn't plant up, but now that I've seen that daffodil flower, I can see all these need replacing. This one's flowered as well, look. So I can replace all these with new flowers, which is great. Clematis coming up here, and another one here. So there's some nice, let's have a look, let's get back. Some nice height in the pathway in the flower pots. Sweet peas again, the ones I bought from the shops, not doing great, which is always the way I find, but they will come up. There's a couple there, and I'll get them to seed, and then I'll collect the seeds, and then they'll be better next year then. And then some of these Purissima tulips here, which let's go back because my shadow's in the way. I planted so that they would balance out the ones I did in the border here. And there's some other tulips yet to come here, so I won't pull those up, obviously, they can stay. A couple of rhododendrons, this one was a gift, and I can't remember if this one was a gift or not, but it obviously needs to be more in the sun because only one flower bud has come up, and it's the one in the sun. It's too dark, I think, here by this wall, so it is moving. This is a beautiful white rose, very soapy, fresh smelling, lovely glossy leaves. Look at that, beautiful. Some more tulips here, look. Sort of just, you know, just accidentally there almost with the forget-me-nots at the base. Actually, can you actually even get that? I don't know, it's so sunny. It's kind of really cute. Lots of tulips to come along here, both in pots and in the border. Really another bushy one here, look, with all the forget-me-nots underneath. They look so cute with forget-me-nots at the base there. If I go around that way, I wonder if you get a better, if you can see it better. Yeah, I think you can. There. They look really cute. I mean, there's so much more happening now. Actually, that's another one of those sticks, but that's in shade, look. So I'm going to put that, while I remember, put that back with this one over here. Let's put it there for now because it's the same as this one. I split it in two, and that one's just too shady, so it hasn't grown. So, as you can see, let's go back. You can see all the bulbs coming out, just colouring up with a nice blush now. So cute. That's my Bistorta pink pokers. You can see that's bushing up now. I did this border back in the autumn, so I'll link the video below. Honesty, Sweet Rocket over there should all flower pink and white. Lots of forget-me-nots, columbine. We've got all different types of tulips. This is the purissima. We've got some parrot tulips. The peony has buds on it. Columbine, as I said. I've got alliums. Yep, there's an allium there, look, coming up as well. Queen of the Night I planted in here, purissima, and obviously these parrot ones. I can't remember. It's in that video, which I'll link below, how I plant. And there's a nice succession, look, because these are almost over now, just as these are coming in. So really nice succession. I actually really like this border here. It's in shade at the moment, but it isn't always in shade. So I'm really, really happy with how that's all meshing together really well. And then with the nice pots along the front as well. We've got some dianthus here. Obviously some more tulips. These were some old snapdragons I rescued. They were actually from the greenhouse, and they were in a corner not doing very well. So I put them in a pot in the greenhouse. But the moment they've come outside, they've actually really shot up. So this one's branched out, look. So they've really enjoyed this warmer weather. More forget-me-nots, more tulips. These are the Menlo. Are they called Menlo? I'll put the link. I'll put the name below. These, I think, are the Queen of the Night. So cute. I love these, actually, especially with the purissima. These are some feverfew that have struggled. They keep coming up and then being eaten. But now that the weather's got warmer, it seems like the slugs are laying off these. So they're starting to come through now. Is there anything I've missed in this border? But look, you can see so many flowers to come. The only reason this white is here is just to stop the dogs digging them up. I could probably take this off now. Once you get a lot of foliage, they don't tend to bother. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'll still leave it. But as you can see, lots and lots of tulips to come there. And then I've got the Bistorta pink pokers, Sweet Rocket at the back, and the Honesty. So some of this area needs tidying up. This was just one of those self-sown pots, and I could see it had a foxglove, some forget-me-nots, and it had these really, I think they're called Cheerfulness or Churchill ones, I can't remember. So I just left that, and once they're over, I'll reclaim that planter. Some more of the columbine that I did the cuttings from in the previous video. Some rocket, that needs moving really. And some parsley. That whole shelf just did not work out, so I'm going to do something else with that. So there you go, that's the first third of the garden. So all my pots to do, which will still be here, but they're going to be nice. I'm going to put some delphiniums and saponaria and all sorts of things in them. These are Ami, Orlea, clary, and poppies mostly here. So let's go on to the greenhouse. 2 lavender either side of the greenhouse there. Okay. Oh, it's warm in here. Got a bit nippy now. It was really warm earlier. All right. All my dahlias on the hotbed here, nearly all of them. We've got cuttings. I had to move these on here because they got noshed by snails. I have had a few problems with snails in here because obviously you don't have birds in the greenhouse. So there are no predators for snails in here. So I have to keep my eye out. But dahlias, yes. So they were propagated from cuttings, from dividing the tubers, and from seed. And I've still got more cuttings to do on these. I've got some salpligossis. What's it called? Salpliglossis. They're a bit like petunias. I've never grown them before, so I don't know what they're going to be like. We'll see. Straw flowers here, just taking advantage of the warmth. I've got a kiwi here. I've got some of the pale yellow sunflowers here, just again taking advantage of the warmth. I wish I could zoom out a bit so you could see it all a bit better. Up here I have some lady's mantle which hasn't germinated yet. It's been a couple of weeks though, but the marigold burning embers have started to germinate, and then I accidentally did these. I did these under grow lights, and I didn't realise they were little bedding plant marigolds, so I could harden these off and put these out really now, because I really want to start moving my tomatoes in here now from indoors on the heat mat, because we're not going below 10 now. 10, which is 50. We're not going to go below 50 for the next week or so, so I can't really see us going below 50, which means that the tomatoes will be fine in here, because it will be even warmer than that in here, so I'll bring them out. Okay, so what else have I got? I've got some stocks here. I did the 3 different types of phlox in my previous video, if you want to watch that. These are chrysanthemum snowballs. This was a whole sunflower head, and I don't know what variety of sunflower it is, but I plonked it in this pot and they just grew, and they actually need planting out or hardening off anyway, at least. I have more cornflowers here. I have Ageratum Timeless, which is that antique-y sort of colour. Ageratum, Bells of Ireland, and Bells of Ireland, and some more Bells of Ireland in with a poppy or some Ageratum or something in there. I don't know what they are. Ammi at the back, and I've got some more Ammi down the bottom. This is Linum, Salmon Eyes, or I think it's called, but these did get eaten by slugs and snails, but a couple have survived. But I am doing some more of these, a succession sowing of these anyway. More dahlias. These were from my, when I was cutting back my oregano, I just took the seeds and sprinkled them on here. And as you can see, as simple as that, I now have new oregano plants growing. The dahlias I should not have taken, sorry, delphiniums, cuttings, I should not have taken the propagator off these. I may put the propagator back on. Nice and warm though, and they have taken, I can feel that they're stuck in that soil, but they just don't look that great, so maybe I'll take them outside as well. Alright, down here I have my potatoes. I literally haven't even put my potatoes out yet and sown my carrots, but I'm going to do that soon. I have some phylacterum, 2 different varieties. I sowed them both last autumn or late summer. These have gone through the winter. These died, but then some other seeds have sprung up, regerminated. Not regerminated, but some different ones have germinated this spring, so I'm glad I didn't throw that pot out, basically. I do have a slug problem here, so these stalks did get eaten. These are all my snapdragons that I'm growing indoors to see if I can get an earlier crop, and I have within there some larkspur have self-seeded in there, so they'll be nice to harvest from. This is Florist's Ageratum, and it's a Florist's Blue. Definitely needs to go out. Pink Costa Snapdragons from my own seeds there. These are the violas. Some more phylacterum that hasn't germinated, so I'm not sure why. I've got some Gomphrena in there that desperately needs to go out. These are all Rudbeckia. I have the Rudbeckia Sahara growing in there. These are obviously ranunculus, and the patch missing there was where I put them outside to plug some gaps in my outside ranuncular patch, which you'll see when we could do the rest of that garden. Salad, so I did these hanging baskets in a previous video, I'll link it below. This is all salad. Again, some more of the little marigolds which I'll plant up. This is a bigger marigold, and I have more inside of those, and some more, a different variety of columbine there. So, and then let's just, without making you too dizzy, let's just go down to these trays. Here we have some stocks, Ammi, a different type of Gypsophilia, a pink one, scabious, this is my living roof wildflower mix, and Dara. These are from my own seeds. And then finally, this one here is a woodland mix for the shadier side of the garden there. And another big pot that I could repot up there. Right, so that is the greenhouse, and then we go down the path to pretty much the rest of the garden here. We've done this border over here. Just got masses of columbine coming up here now with a peony and a climbing rose, and the roses have buds. I don't know if I showed you that, but they have buds on them now. More clematis here, a lovely little naturally sown forget-me-nots and lamium here, and an honesty here in flower. It's quite short though. Last year it was right up here. So some rescued forget-me-nots, and of course the ranunculus here, looking fantastic. Let me just put the camera under here so you can just see how many, all the way up there, like so. And then I also have my gypsophilia here, which I planted out the other day in another video, and they've just taken really well so far. I planted them kind of casually around here. And then here we have a rose I did as a cutting from that white rose over there. I have a Patricia geranium here. You can see all the columbine granny's bonnet coming up here. Now, how am I going to do these borders? Well, we've got some yarrow, love parade in these pots, and the cerinthe, some more cerinthe still needs doing. If I come over here, and you can see I have these 3 main borders, and then I'm sort of bookended with ranunculus and loads of alliums. I mean, I have got absolutely tons of alliums, too many in fact. So this border, they're all pretty much repeat flowering, so I'm not going to bore you with the whole deal, but they all have in them foxgloves, columbine, sweet peas, alliums. The tulips were left over from another year. Next year I will have lots more tulips because I was digging the borders over this winter, but next year, now that they're dug over and they're shaped, I will put more tulips in. I also have cerinthe, more peonies, delphiniums, Canterbury bells, Shasta daisies, nigella, verbascum, there's the dianthus sweet william, lots and lots of those. There's a Canterbury bell there. The sweet peas obviously there. And I even took a cutting from the Bistorta pink pokers, which I've transferred over here. Oh yes, I've got larkspur, more larkspur. So trying to make them work together. More sweet william with these alliums here. Look, you can see the alliums coming up now. More cerinthe, more tulips left over from a previous sowing, if you like, for want of a better explanation. I have valerian, white valerian, and that's repeating throughout. So let me find another one. Well, of course I can't find one now, but yeah, they are repeating throughout. And I actually have some in this pot here, look, and I'm going to use that as it naturally sowed itself there, and I'm going to put some delphiniums in there. So let's just wander up. Sweet rocket, this one here is doing great there. It's actually mobbing the sweet peas a bit. Dianthus, more sweet williams, larkspur. Here's the peonies, more sweet williams. So we're going to have lots of those. These are the Canterbury bells here. This is the pot I did the other day with some more gypsophilia and stocks. More Canterbury bells, larkspur. These are the delphiniums. Everything here needs planting out. This is hardened off more or less now. And I have carthamus, white mallow, cornflowers, saponaria, pink beauty, and delphiniums, of course. And then at the back, so I've got the delphiniums, yes, I did that on there. I've got another pot of Cerinthe here, and I've got yarrow in these borders, and I've got some more yarrow along this back border here, which is, I've got pear blossom, as you can see, and just native hedging at the back, and a red rose. Also another clematis growing through this buddleia. I've got a purple buddleia and a creamy yellow buddleia. Lots more alliums. Oh, and a honeysuckle. Too many alliums really. And I've got some greater knapweed, which is like a thistle, a native wildflower. More Cerinthe, more sweet peas. I've got irises in here. There's the valerian. I've got my only hollyhock that didn't get rust at the back here. Hopefully it'll sell seed. I've got Echinops 1, 2, 3. I've actually got Monarda in here somewhere. Where's my Monarda? There it is. Maybe it's not going to come up. Seems a little bit pathetic. Maybe it's being eaten. Obviously, look, the sweet peas looking good there. And then at the back, I'm going to have the Persicaria orientalis. I've got some still inside, some in the greenhouse. Hey, where is the one in the greenhouse? Just trying. Oh no, it's indoors on the under lights. And then I've got some a little bit further behind here, coming up here. And they're really tall, so they're going to be up here. And I'm going to have them along this back shelf fence. Because, you know, when that hedge is done, you won't even see that fence, so I can't wait for the hedge to be done there. Fire pit, this still all needs doing and reorganising. This is the oregano I took the seeds from, that's in the greenhouse. That bit of hedge is growing nicely there. I did have an Edgeworthia, I tried to transplant it to make this area more attractive here, but it died, which was stupid really, because I knew it was going to do that. I moved it at the wrong time of year, so I'll have to think of something else to go there. And then I've got 2 camellias at the back here. Oh, I should have said, under these climbing and rambling roses, which go up all over here, over this seating area. And then there's the camellia. So pretty, this one comes second. Look how cute that is. This one's kind of gone over now. And this is the shade area, so it does have a seating area there, but it's got all my yew in. Oh, let's not dwell on that. And then when I take the bulbs out of the raised bed at the front, I'm going to plant them. You can see where I've got some here. It's like a bit of a shady kind of area. I'll plant them all around here, and I'll put some more in the raised bed next autumn. Yeah, and then that's it. This is going to be coming out soon. We've got some wind on Thursday, some quite heavy wind. So I decided I wasn't going to get it all out before then. I'll give it another week or so. Hydrangea at the back. Anyway, lots happening. So still lots. I mean, I wish I had more tulips next year. This will be awash with tulips, and the forget-me-nots will be more mature underneath. So hopefully there'll be kind of lots more of this kind of look here in the actual borders. But that's it, you know, there's lots going on. Lots of self-seeding and repeating patterns, so it's not as chaotic as it has been in previous years when, you know, I've planted everything and not really known how big they were going to get. And there's still an element of that. I can see where I tried to take up the greater knapweed, this one here, and I tried to move it over there because it gets so tall and the root has grown back anyway. So I'm definitely going to have, it'll be up here and it's kind of disproportionate really, but we'll see how it looks with everything else. I'm not going to bother too much this year. And then, did I show you the bells of Ireland? Here's the bells of Ireland, self-seeded, because I was collecting the seeds last summer, while sitting here, and obviously one's fallen through and self-seeded. There you go. May have some more under there. Be interesting to see. Anyway, that's it. Did I do these pots? I can't remember. Some purple honesty. Forget-me-nots. Got lots more flowers to come here, so that's going to be nice. And it's getting taller every day. Lamian, forget-me-nots. The rose hedge. Yeah. Did I do the geranium? Patricia there. So that's it. That's your April tour. You can see how much these are really putting on growth, and the forget-me-nots. So yeah, it's all coming on, the buds on the roses. It's not going to be long before I'm sitting out here. I cannot wait.